What is up, geek fans? This is Gibson here. In today's video, we're gonna put the ROG Xbox Ally X up against the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus in a gameplay benchmark, and we're gonna see who's gonna come out on top. So without further ado, let's dive in. Alright, so we'll be testing with full TTP on both the devices. So for the ROG Xbox Ally X, we're gonna do 35 watts, and we're gonna use the MSI Afterburner for FPS counter. The first game we're going to be testing is going to be Hogwarts Legacy. So let's fire up the game. Let me zoom in a bit more. So we're going to do native resolution on both the devices. For Xbox ROG Ally, we're going to do 1080p. We're going to do FSR on Xbox ROG Ally. We're going to use XESS on MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. We're going to also use FrameGen because I like to see the maximum FPS we could get from this game. And we're going to use Ultra preset without ray tracing. Alright, so we're in this courtyard area inside Hogwarts. And on the ROG Xbox Ally X, we're getting about mid 40 to high 40. So on average, we're getting high 40s, I would say. Oh, and we got one stuttering right there. I would say we're getting about high 40s on average. So let's head inside. We do have a bit of a stutter when we enter the interior of the Hogwarts. So in here we're getting about the FPS are all over the place. So we're getting about mid 60, I would say, for the interior. Gonna head back out.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around.
And let's see inside the dining room, the dining hall. Oh, wrong place. So for the interior, we're getting about mid 60, I would say, on the ROG Xbox Ally X. And in the courtyard, we're getting high 40s. And a bit of a stutter. Alright, let's do the same test on MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. Alright, so let's check out the settings on MSI Claw. I'm gonna change to XESS with FrameGen on. And the rest will be the same. We're gonna be on Ultra preset. Alright, so we're in the same courtyard area.
Keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's cobstones.
And it would seem we're getting about 10% higher FPS here. I'm seeing high 40s to low 50. I think we're getting about 10% more FPS here on the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus, although we do have that stuttering just like we did on the Xbox Ally X. Right, so I would say we're getting about 10% more FPS in the courtyard area. So let's head inside and see. So we're seeing 80 FPS on the interior. And up to 90, so that's pretty high, but I think we're getting high 60 for the interior. Yep, I think it's quite consistent. I think we're getting about 10% more FPS in both the courtyard and the interior of the Hogwarts. Right, so I'm gonna sum it up for this game that it would seem that MSI Claw is about 10% ahead of the ROG Xbox Ally X. Alright, so next let's do Cyberpunk. Alright, so for this we're gonna do the same. We're gonna use FSR on the Xbox Ally X, and we're gonna use the Ultra preset without ray tracing. But for this one, we're going to use quality for the upscaling mode. Yep. Let's do it. Alright, so we're right in the action scene. So we're getting high 50 here. Alright, I think this is a good test because we should be getting quite consistent scenario here since we're just sitting inside the car. So we're getting about 60 now, so it's about high 50.
How's it going there, V? Did you have fun?
Now we're back to mid 50. I would say so far we're getting about mid 50 on this one.
Just starting. Pitching Teddy.
The graphic on this thing is just gorgeous. Alright, so I think we
Perfect timing if you ask.
have some idea now. We're getting about high 50 on average, I would say, on the ROG Xbox Ally X. So let's move on to the MSI Claw 8AI Plus. I'm using the same amount of zoom here, so you're kind of getting an idea how bigger the screen on the MSI Claw 8AI Plus is compared to the ROG Xbox Ally X. Alright, so let's confirm the settings. Gonna use quality. You're gonna use ESS with FrameGen on, and I believe we already on Ultra, but let me see. Okay, let's do it.
Hey everyone, welcome to Info Flash.
Right, so if I remember correctly, we did start off on the Xbox Allies with high 50 in this area. Somehow I do feel like we're having smoother
Just as I said it would.
movement here on MSI Claw. And I think we have about 5% more FPS. We're constantly getting...
How's it going there, V? Did you have fun?
Sure did.
I think we are constantly getting high 50 on this device, while
Real fun.
we got about mid 50 on the other one. But I think for this one it's pretty close. I say it's pretty close in this game.
Just lost the Militech channel. The suits finally realized someone was listening and changed the codes.
Perfect timing if you ask me.
So it's either about the same, or the MSI Claw is just a slightly more FPS here on the MSI Claw 8AI Plus. But I don't know, I do feel like the movement is smoother here on the MSI Claw somehow.
I can talk to him if you want.
Nothing.
Right, so let's move on to the next game. Alright, so let's do Assassin's Creed Shadows. Alright, so for this game we're gonna do medium preset. And we're gonna use native resolution, of course. And I'm just gonna stick to the dynamic resolution here with quality upscaler, FSR with frame gen. Medium preset. Let's go. To be honest, I couldn't see anything here on the Xbox Ally screen, but we're getting about 30, mid 30 FPS here, which is a bit strange. Let me restart the game. I'm not sure if I have to restart the game to get that settings applied. Alright, so we are back in the game, and this is very strange. I'm almost certain the game should play quite well on this device, but we're getting something a little over 30 FPS in this scene, and I couldn't see anything. I do think the contrast on this screen is not so good when you're in a very dark game. You just can't see anything. Alright, so I'm just gonna go in blind. Alright, so I would say we're getting on average low 30s, in the low 30s on this device. Alright, so let's do it on the MSI Claw 8AI Plus. Alright, so let's confirm the settings. Native resolution. And we're going to use dynamic resolution, XeSS frame generation, and we're going to use medium preset. Alright, so it would seem we're in the high 30s here, in the low 40s here in the Claw 8. Alright, so for this game I think we're about 20% higher in FPS in the MSI Claw 8AI Plus, because we were in the mid 30 on the Xbox Ally X. Yep, I think for this game we're getting about 20% more FPS on the MSI Claw 8AI Plus, which is quite impressive. Alright, so if you like the video so far, be sure to like and subscribe. Click on the bell icon, I'm gonna make a lot more like it. Thank you guys. Alright, so next let's do Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered. Alright, so let's check out the settings. We're doing medium preset here. And yep, we're using FSR with frame gen on, and we're using dynamic resolution scaling. Let's do 60. Alright, so let's get inside the game. This is one of the games that I feel impressed every time I launch it because the graphics are so nice. And to see this kind of graphics on such portable device, always impressive to me. Alright, so we're getting high 50 here. So we're getting high 50 on average, I would say. It's super playable on this device, and we have decent graphics as well. Super nice graphics. So I think we are going to get high 50 on average because we don't have much going on here, but yep, should give you guys some idea. This game is going to play fine on this device. So let's see how it performs on the MSI Claw 8AI Plus. So let's check out the settings. We're on native resolution, and let's do the same. Dynamic resolution at 60. XeSS with FSR frame gen because we don't have XeSS frame gen on this device. And I've been playing at high preset on this device, so let's change to medium to match the Xbox Ally X, and let's see how it performs. Yep, so it would feel like we're getting about 10% more FPS here on this MSI Claw 8AI Plus, because we are in mid 60 most of the time. I think it's quite consistent here after we played 4 games. I think on average the Claw is about 10% more powerful when we compare it to the Xbox Ally X. Yep. Alright, so let's move on to the next game. Alright, so this time we're gonna do Gears of War Reloaded. One of my favorite games of all time. I had so much fun when it first launched back then. I think over 10 years ago. Still fun to play it again. And this game is not very demanding, so we're gonna go with a high preset. So let's confirm the settings. Yep, we're using high preset with native resolution with no frame gen because this game doesn't have one. And we are using I think we do have upscaling mode in this game somewhere. Right, it's here. So we're using quality mode, so let's stick to that. And I do want to mention that this game does support the impulse trigger, so it does feel super immersive when shooting in this game. Right, so I should remove FPS limit because we're getting solid 60 here. Yep, let's remove it. And let's see. We're getting as high as mid 80, 90. It's got it all over the place, but I would say we're getting about mid 80 for the FPS. So where do I need to go? Not there. Yep, we're getting super high FPS here in this game. We're getting. Oh, we have some action here. So we're getting about 80 on average, I would say. It's kind of all over the place. Now we're getting about mid 70. Alright, so I would say that's about 70 to 80. So I would say on average we're getting about 70, about mid 70s. So let's check it out on the MSI Claw. So native resolution, removing the frame rate limit, and let's do high preset. So we're getting quality mode for the FSR scaling, and need to restart the game. Alright, so for this game it would seem like we're getting about 10% less FPS on this device, because we're getting about 70 FPS on average on the Xbox Ally X, but now we seem to be getting around mid 50. I think it's about 10 to 15% more FPS on the Xbox Ally X. Yep. I would say we're getting about 15% more FPS on the Xbox Ally X in this game. I'm playing pretty badly here. Alright, so I think that's about it, guys. So did the result surprise you? Let me know in the comment what other games you'd like me to test. So I'll see you geeks in the next one. Peace out, guys.